Welcome to the Peace, Power, and Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Steve Morris. Did you know that the month of June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Unfortunately, men's mental health does not get as much attention as some other things during the month of June. For the sake of YouTube and not getting kicked off of here, I'm not going to bring up the most popular topic that's focused on in the month of June, but the platform for this podcast is men's mental health. So I want to shed some light on Men's Mental Health Awareness Month in the month of June. So men's mental health is very important because most men are not going to seek help for their mental health. More women are going to reach out to a therapist, to friends. They're going to address their emotional and mental health more so than men are. Unfortunately, guys are hardwired to stay quiet, to numb pain, to not talk about their feelings. And a lot of that is based on fear of appearing weak, how they were raised. You know, I'm 45, my generation, when I was growing up, you were seen as a bitch or a sissy if you talked about your feelings. You weren't supposed to cry. You weren't supposed to show really any kind of emotion other than anger. And I think most men can identify with anger out of all the emotions because at a young age, they're shown not only is that okay, but it shows that you're strong or that you're tough because you can get angry, which can turn into violence. That's a blanket statement that may not be the case for every man, but in my experience, most A-type alpha men have the capability to be angry or have anger issues and are extremely violent. Not all the time, but if the situation presents itself, they're capable of violence. So the overview is more women are going to be able to address their mental health more so than men. So the goal with the Mental Health Awareness Month for men is to shed light on how important it is for men to kind of break the stigma around, you know, it's weak to talk about your feelings. It's weak or it's not manly to lean into your emotions and talk to somebody, to find a group or find a therapist or use medication if needed. I'm not a professional. I'm not a therapist. I'm not going to get into the medication side because I don't have a clinical background in mental health. I'm just here to raise awareness for it. I have a testimony. I've seen the benefits personally of addressing my mental health. So I want to shed light on the importance of it, but I'm not going to get into the clinical side of it. So guys, know this, you're not weak if you go see a therapist. You're not a sissy if you talk about your feelings. You want to do it in a group of like-minded individuals. You want to be in a place where you feel comfortable. I don't recommend just talking to random people in your life. Not everyone's going to understand it. And I think that for men, I think really we're in a 1% club if we focus on our mental health, if we focus on our overall mental well-being, trying to be a well-rounded, healthy individual. I don't think a lot of women understand men that are vulnerable, that are transparent, and most importantly, men that are authentic. A lot of men have imposter syndrome or that false bravado. So it's about how much money they make, you know, how successful they are, what kind of car they drive, how many women they've ran throughout their lives or currently. It's all this materialistic crap. A lot of men aren't authentic because they're hiding behind a mask. They're trying to prove to the world that they're a badass or that they have things that everyone else wants. And it works. I mean, it does. It'll work, but it leaves you hollow inside. So for an authentic man to really show up and be present for his family, to focus on his mental health, to see the value in becoming a better man, I think it's a 1% club. I really hope that changes. I hope more men step up because, guys, let's be honest. Men are leaders. That's why we were created. And look around in our society right now. There isn't a lot of leadership. Families are falling apart. Homes are broken. Men are not stepping up where they need to. And a lot of that is because you're seeing this mass wave of women stepping up and taking on roles that traditionally men took on. Now it's kind of the women leading the charge when it comes to the careers and taking care of the family, everything, not just feeding kids or raising babies, but the basic stuff. The things that men were hardwired to do, guys were not doing. Men nowadays are more concerned with, playing video games or drinking beer and watching football. We're not stepping up, guys. I'm in that group too. I was that dude that never took his mental health serious until it was a rock bottom moment, and I really had no other choice. I lost everything in order to gain insight on how I needed to work on mental health. I don't want you to go through what I did. Guys, don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until the house is on fire and you're standing in the front yard with a box of matches going, what the hell just happened? Get on it now. Get on it before it's too late. Do it for yourself. Do it for your kids. And if you're married, do it for your wife. But most importantly, do it for yourself. Every single person on this earth has a purpose. Everyone has value. Their life means something, regardless of your past, regardless of your mistakes. Your life has meaning. And know that you are loved by somebody. You may feel all alone. You may feel like you're isolated from the world, but there is someone in your life that loves you and cares about you. Love yourself. Even if it's just you, do it for yourself. Your life is worth it. Don't let friends or family or other people in your life keep you from getting help, from addressing things like anxiety, depression, unresolved trauma, whatever it might be. Don't let other people hold you back from being the best version of yourself and getting the help that you need. You're not weak. It takes more courage to ask for help and to seek out professionals than it does to stay quiet and suffer in silence. And it takes more courage to ask for that help than to try to numb pain or mask pain through self-sabotage. And if you're not familiar with that term, a good example of self-sabotage would be getting drunk every night to suppress your emotions, to suppress your feelings where you don't have to deal with it, to just turn a blind eye to it and hope it just goes away. That is not healthy. That being said, guys, working on your mental health is not easy. Any slob can join a gym and get in shape. Any slob can go on a diet and lose weight. It takes a lot of work, a lot of effort to focus on your mental health because this is an ongoing thing. There are several modalities out there today that help with stress relief, that help with serotonin levels. So like the cold plunge, red light therapy, sauna, meditation, breath work, all those things are good, but you still have to do the hard work and address the root cause or the foundation when it comes to mental health. You may not need a therapist. I don't know. I'm not clinical, so I don't want to say you do or you don't. But you may need to sit down and use something like this, like a journal, and just write out your story. Write out what bothers you. Write out how you're feeling. Life is constant change, and you're going to be hit with things that you don't see coming. Whether it's in the family, it's in the career field you're in, illness, whatever, man, you're going to face change. And the more you can focus on your mental health, the better you're going to be able to handle that. And I'm going to mention this. I don't know if YouTube's going to edit this out, but men have a higher rate of suicide than women. And a lot of that attributes to us not getting help when we need it, because we're too afraid of what other people think. You know what? Don't worry about what other people think. Would you rather live in fear, hoping that your friends like you, but not taking care of yourself just to impress them? Or would you rather lose those friends who are not your friends anyways, if they're going to laugh at you for getting help, for joining a men's group or a support group? You're bettering yourself. Not everyone's going to see that. Not everyone's going to understand that, but you know what? You're doing it for yourself, and that's what's important. The healthier you get mentally and the more you evolve, more people are more than likely going to drop off in your life. I've lived through that. I've been sober almost 4 years, and I've got maybe a handful of friends now. Before that, I had several friends. But that tells me that that big group of friends I had before, they weren't my real friends. They didn't want to see me succeed. They wanted me at their level. Misery loves company, and people gravitate towards other people that are at the same place in life that they are. If you're crushing it, you're getting healthy, you're you're running your own business, you're thriving in your family and in your daily life, you work on your mental health. Unfortunately, people are gonna be jealous of that, man. You know, the common term now is haters. You're gonna have haters. You're gonna have people that doubt you and say, oh, well, that's not really him, he's fake. Who cares, man? Focus on you. Don't worry about everybody else. Focus on you. The healthier you get, the more it's going to not only benefit you, but those in your closest circle, like your family, your loved ones, your kids, your spouse, if you're married. And it takes time. You have to be patient. It's an ongoing process. I don't have all the answers, but I try to do something every single day to work on mental health. I personally struggle with anxiety. I'm a control freak. I like order. I'm a planner. I have a set schedule every day. And when that schedule gets disrupted, I don't always do well with it. And I tend to let my anxiety overwhelm me at times. So I have to recalibrate and analyze, okay, what can I control? What can I not control? And for me, improving my spiritual life was a big part of my mental health. Building my relationship with God has helped me more in my mental health than anything else. I've been through therapy. I have 2 therapists that I see weekly just for my work that I'm friends with that I can talk to. I've been in a men's group, but I'm telling you guys, the most that I've gotten out of the growth through mental health and healing has been through the Word of God and reading the Bible, and surrounding myself with people that are smarter than me, that have more wisdom, that truly care for me. I don't have a big social circle anymore, but I've realized as I've grown, that's okay. Do I still get lonely? Yeah. Do I still have depression at times? Yeah. Do I still have anxiety? Yes. But I'm self-aware now enough to know, okay, I can deal with this. And if I can't, I know where to go to get help. In the notes of this episode, I'm going to put some resources for you guys if you need help, if you need to talk to a professional. I'm not a professional. If you have trouble finding one, please send a message to me, or you can email the podcast and I'll help you find one. But I'm going to put some resources on here because it is important, guys. You owe it to yourselves to focus on your mental health. And I don't want to sit here and say that it's just, you know, it's a 6-week goal or an 8-week goal and all of a sudden you're going to be healthy. No, it's an ongoing thing. Life is constant change, like I said before. And as you grow, as you evolve, you're going to keep learning. You're going to keep healing. If you have some deep unresolved trauma, it may take you several years to work through that. If you've gone through a bitter divorce and you're co-parenting, it may take several years to finally be able to adapt to that new role that you have in the co-parenting world. If you struggle with addiction, substance abuse, it may take a few years to overcome that. This is not an overnight thing. This is not a, get healthy quick scheme. So invest the time, know that your life has meaning and that you're worth it. It's awesome that June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I wish there was more attention on it. So I encourage you fellas out there to check in with your buddies. Ask them how they're doing. Send a text. Call somebody. Make sure they're doing okay. If you've got a friend that just is going through a divorce or just got out of a divorce, check on them. If you have a friend that's struggling with alcohol abuse, check on them. A friend that maybe has gone through a traumatic family experience, like a death in the family or something like that, check on them. Step up to the plate and do the right thing. Check on your brothers, man, because you never know. There could be someone in your life that needs to hear your voice, needs to know that you love them, that you support them, and they could be waiting on that phone call. They could be too afraid to ask you for help. But if you reach out first, you take pressure off of them. So men, I encourage you to work on your mental health. Take it seriously. It's a crucial thing to focus on, and your life will be enhanced if you focus on yourself and your mental well-being. I'm going to close this episode out with a verse. Today's verse of the day through the Bible app is very eye-opening. It's a great verse, and it really applies to men's mental health. So I jotted it down in my journal, and I'm going to read it to you. This is from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. Cast all your anxiety onto him because he cares for you. Him is Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ loves you. No matter what you've done in your life, no matter what you've gone through, no matter where you're at right now, he loves you. And he's always going to be there, no matter what. He cares about you. Guys, tomorrow is not promised. Try not to stress about the things you cannot control. Focus on today and focus on yourself. I hope you got something out of this episode. Like I said, I'm going to put some resources in the notes. Please reach out, guys. Please, if you need help, please use these resources and check on your buddies. Until next time, God bless, and thank you for tuning in.